What up, Bars Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Bars podcast, the podcast where we explore cutting edge strategies to help Caribbean businesses thrive in the digital age. I am your host, Kimron Korean, and today I am diving into a fascinating psychological phenom that, when understood and leveraged correctly, can be a game changer for your brand, and that is parasocial relationships. Now, parasocial relationships might sound like something out of a sci fi movie, but I promise you, it's incredibly relevant to how we connect online today, especially for businesses and entrepreneurs out here in the Caribbean. So the big question you might have is, well, Kimron, what exactly is parasocial relationship? Imagine this. You follow a chef on Instagram. You watch all their cooking videos. You know about their family, their favorite spices, maybe even their dog's name. You feel like you know them intimately. You feel like they're a friend, even though they have no idea who you are individually. Now, that in a nutshell is parasocial relationship. It is a one-sided connection where one person, which is the audience member or the follower, the fan, invests emotional energy, time, and interest in a media figure. That could be a celebrity, it could be a YouTuber, an influencer, or even a business owner who's very active online. The key here is that the media figure doesn't have a reciprocal individual relationship with that specific follower. It is a feeling of perceived closeness and familiarity. And that isn't new, anyways. People have been forming bonds with movie stars and news anchors for decades. I mean, we know about Chuck Norris, we know about Rambo and Commando, and we feel like we know them and we know a lot about them. We've been forming these relationships for decades, and these people have no idea who we are. But with social media has thrown gasoline on that fire. Think about it. We have platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. They offers unprecedented access into people's lives. We see into their daily lives, their thoughts shared in real time, their direct camera appeal, and this creates a powerful illusion of intimacy. When an influencer shares their morning routine or a business owner talks about their challenges, their triumph, it feels personal. Those likes, comments, and even occasional replies from the public figure can feel like genuine interaction to the followers, strengthening that one sided bond. I have seen people posting whenever they get a response from their favorite influencer, their favorite actor, their favorite reggae artist or their favorite dancehall artist. They start to feel, they start to trust that person. They feel loyal and even identify with them. So this interesting psychology, this psychological phenom, how can businesses in the Caribbean, from our vibrant tourism sector to our unique artisans and the service providers, how can they take advantage of this? Well, the Caribbean has an inherent advantage, and that is our culture is built on warmth, storytelling, and community. These are the prime ingredients for fostering connection. So imagine a boutique hotel owner who, instead of just posting pretty pictures of the rooms, they start sharing interesting stories of their journey building the hotel, introduces their staff like family, and highlight the local community and experiences. The guests will start to feel a deeper connection, not just to the place, but to the people behind it. They're more likely to book and more likely to recommend and more likely to even return because they feel that they are a part of something. Or think about a local craft person, for instance, by showing their creative process, maybe talking about the inspiration from the island that they're on, sharing their passion. They will build a narrative that customers can connect with emotionally. Mind you, it is not just about a product anymore. It is a piece of that person's story, a piece of the Caribbean they feel connected to. This could drive sales, loyalty, even a willingness to pay a premium. Now, for service providers, consultants like myself, coaches, or even real estate agents, showing your personality, your expertise through your unique Caribbean lens can make you stand out. If people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Parasocial relationships, not yet ethically, can build that know, like, and trust factor at scale. So, the big question then is, how can entrepreneurs, business people, business owners, managers actively cultivate these beneficial parasocial relationships? Well, it's all about building a strong, authentic online personal brand. And I'm pretty sure that many of you knew that way I was going. So, how do we do that? One, we need to be authentic and vulnerable appropriately. People connect with realness. So, share your passions, your challenges, the ones that you've overcome or are still working through, and your personality. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Our Caribbean warmth and spirit are an asset, a big asset. The next thing is tell stories. We are a region of storytellers. Share the story of your business, your why. Introduce your team. Highlight customer success. Weave a narrative that people can invest in. And produce consistent, valuable content. Show up regularly, whether it's daily Instagram stories, weekly YouTube videos, or a regular blog post. Consistency keeps you top of mind. And make sure that your content offers value, whether it's entertaining, informative, or inspiring. Think about your ideal customer or your ideal client in the Caribbean context, or those interested in the Caribbean that's from outside. What content will they find engaging? And then we got to engage, even if it's one to many. So while you can't reply to everyone individually as you grow, acknowledge your community. So host a Q&A session, respond to common themes in the comments, use polls and questions in your stories. Make your audience feel seen and heard, even if it's collectively. And the next thing that I want to say is show the human. Show the human. People connect with people, not faceless logos. Show your face. Let them hear your voice. Even if you're a product based business, show who is the person or the team behind it. Let that shine. Show the human. Be you. Too many times I speak to entrepreneurs and I'm like, okay, well, let's do a video with you, talking about something, sharing your story. And they're like, no, I want to focus on the product. No. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But you also want to be yourself, show the human, show the people behind the business. Let people connect with you. Next, highlight your Caribbean identity. That is, if it's authentic to you and your brand. Lean into your local culture, your dialect, if appropriate for your audience. The unique aspect of your island, show that. This creates a distinct identity and can foster deeper connection with both local and international audiences that are interested in the Caribbean. So don't be afraid to lean in to what makes you Caribbean. When you successfully cultivate these connections, the benefits are huge. I'm telling you, followers who feel a parasocial bond with you, they are more likely to, one, trust your recommendations, two, become loyal customers, three, be more forgiving if you make a small misstep. I've benefited from that. Four, they'll become vocal advocates for your brand, spreading positive word of mouth. And five, they support your new ventures or any new product launch that you have. So essentially, what you're doing is you're building a community that's emotionally invested in your success. And in a competitive Caribbean market, that kind of loyalty is priceless. So, the challenge for you this week is to think about how can you be more intentional in building your online presence? How can you share more of your story, your passion, your authentic self to foster this connection? It's not about faking it. We're not going to fake anything here. It's about strategically sharing the best of who you are and what your Caribbean business offers. That's what we're doing. We're not faking it, but we are sharing more of who we are. And that is how Caribbean businesses can leverage parasocial relationship to grow in 2025 and beyond. So, this was the Dropping Bars podcast. I am your host, Kimron Corian, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.